let's bring up this debut album that's going on. Not going to ask when it's coming out, but how would you describe how it looks so far?
I would say I take a lot of time on it, on making, well, it's my first album, so I take a lot of time on this album because I wanted it to be really consistent track by track. So as cliche as it sounds, I guess the formula that I've been following is Illmatic, because everyone's going to say, oh, that's cliche, Illmatic, best hip-hop album, whatever. But the fact that he didn't have, I mean, I think I'm going to have around maybe 11 songs on it. He had 10, but I'm not going to have like a 19-track album. Like, I'm going to have a nice, perfect amount of songs. But the thing about Illmatic is, like, song after song after song, it just seemed to flow well. It just was like a right placement of each song. And so I would say it has like a similar vibe like that but it doesn't sound like Illmatic. Like that came from a different time, different place. Mine is more, I would say, soulful, and I got like a few serious songs on there, but right now in my life I'm in a pretty good place, so a lot of the songs have like a good vibe. There's a good variety on the album right now, and I think people are going to really enjoy it because I'm only working with 3 producers, and to me the chemistry with those 3 is really well. And that's why another reason it took me a little bit longer to put another song, because I wanted to make sure everything and everyone that was involved in this album was on the same page. So yeah, I think to me it has, like, if I could use one word to describe it, I would say clean. Not content wise, but just the sound.
Who have you worked with on this album?
The 3 producers that I'm working with, which are pretty much like my main producers all the time, is the Seattle Big Tune winner, Rising Sun, DJ Samaj, who's from Tacoma, but he's also worked with this guy his name is Jay Nix. He's from Florida. He's kind of blown up a little bit, and he's worked with a lot of other people around here and in a few other states. And then the last one that I'm working with is this producer named Mike Weed, who I think is going to be like the big surprise on the album, because his talent is amazing, but he's not out there yet. But once people hear his music, they're gonna be really surprised what they hear.
Any other artists, or is it all gonna be Fice?
Oh no, the features are still up in the air right now. I've spoke to Thad from Soda. We've been talking about doing a song for years now, so we're gonna do something regardless. And I've also talked to Fig from the Physics. We spoke a few months ago. He actually, surprisingly, like, because being from Tacoma, you're like, I don't know who from Seattle is going to hear what when it comes out. So when 253 came out, he actually hit me up and gave me props on the song, which meant a lot to me because I like the Physics a lot. They're probably my favorite group from Seattle. And so we've talked about working together. Those are the only 2 right now. I have like a few other people in mind. I just haven't decided if they're going to be on it. There's my boy Bruce Leroy. He's from Tacoma. And then there's another up-and-comer from Tacoma. His name is New, N-O-O. He was kind of like, I don't want to say I mentored him, because I don't know how he exactly looks at it that way, but he was definitely around me when he was younger, and he's so ill now. It's like it's crazy to see how far he's came, and he's about to really, like, probably be in the forefront of the Tacoma rappers for sure.
Let's talk about your motivations. What really motivates you to rap? Is it fame, fortune, philanthropy, family, or just love to do it?
Well, from the jump, it's always been a love to do it. I mean, honestly, I really grew up on some like real hip hop shit. Like, I started listening to hip hop when I was really young, but then in my late teens, mid-teens to early 20s, I was actually around more graffiti artists and b-boys than rappers. So I mean, I've seen it all. Like, I've went out when my friends went bombing. I've been to the craziest b-boy battles. I've used to be in MC battles. Like, I've done everything pretty much. So it's always been for the love. And after the 253 thing, I've actually I don't enjoy the fame that much, because like Tacoma's not really a big, huge metropolitan type of city, so you run into a lot of people everywhere. And like, I love I love my fans and the people that support what I'm doing, but then there's also like the weirdos here and there, you know, and it's like I just miss kind of like being able to do whatever I want. And it's not like I get recognized everywhere I go. It's not like I'm like Justin Bieber or something, but like, you know, I can still go to the grocery store and stuff like that. But you know, if I go out at like certain events, it's like sometimes I just want to chill, and but sometimes there's people that just want to talk to me about doing stuff, or you know, and I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to chill. They like try to get me to like perform out of nowhere, and I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to have a good time type of thing. So I guess it's not really for the fame, but the fame comes with being more known, to be able to have more fans and support. So you got to take it no matter what if you want to really make it. And then the money thing, I think any rapper that says he wouldn't want to make money off rapping is lying, because if you're like young and you're doing it and getting props, that's cool. But once you start getting into your late 20s and your early 30s, and if you're telling people you're just doing it out of the love, you shouldn't be rapping anymore, especially if you got bills to pay, if you got kids or a house or whatever, because you got to put a lot into making music if you really want to make it. And I think that's the ultimate goal with everyone. I mean, there's people that do it out of just talent and love, but if you're in a position where you got fans and you can still spread your music even further, and you have the potential to make it spread more, then money would definitely be a good thing. I'm not saying I need to be super rich or anything, but of course anyone wants to be able to get paid for what they love doing. So
alright, I'm about to drop a bomb on you. What are your opinions on this progress of the stereotype of the white rapper?
I mean, the funny thing is, when I started rapping, it was even more difficult because Eminem wasn't even out yet. Like the first time that I ever freestyled, I was lucky enough to be around a few friends who had no problem with me. They were actually encouraging me to rap, because the guys that I grew up with rapping, they'd be in a cypher or whatever, and this is when we were young. This is probably like 95 or 96, and I would just be the white guy there that I would just stand there listening, and they'd be going one person to the next, and I'm like, I don't rap, next guy, whatever. And then, but I always wanted to, but it was even more difficult to be a white rapper back then, because I mean, besides Third Bass and Beastie Boys, I don't really know if any other white rapper was known, like up here at least. So I started. I'm lucky enough to be around a bunch of friends that encouraged me to do it, because they knew the love that I had for the hip hop music. And then when Eminem came out, it kind of changed a little things. And when the whole underground, the whole indie scene changed a lot of stuff too. And nowadays, I feel like I hear less like opinions about the white rapper, I guess you could say, because I mean, there's still very few that are actually like making it, but I think it's changing a lot. I mean, there's more Asian rappers now too coming out. I'm from like since I grew up around like the b-boys and the graffiti artists, it's always been like a more universal thing, almost like a New York thing in the Bronx back in the day when it all started, where everyone was just like, if you got love for it, and if you're not being corny or being fake, then it's all good. If you're just being yourself and this is what you love doing, then it's cool. And the thing is, I have no problem with any. If you're dope to me. So that's the bottom line. And I get that type of love from all races. Like, if they recognize or if they feel that I'm dope, I mean, I don't think everyone thinks that I'm dope, but if people think that I'm dope, they don't really care, like if you're white, black, Asian, whatever. So yeah. Alright,
so what's next for you? You got the album, but what other things do you have in store?
After the album, see, I've put all my shows on. I haven't been doing shows since maybe I think I did a show a month after 253 Hip Hop, or after 253 came out, and that was a crazy show. But then I put all my shows on hold because I want this next one to be my album release party, where it all builds up to this big show. So I guess you could say after the album's done, we are shooting a few more videos for the album. We're putting out a summer song soon, very soon. We're just waiting for the weather to cooperate, and then so that's like the next thing, and then the album, and then the album release party, and then after that, I'm just gonna pretty much push it as far as I can. Use all my networking connects, all the resources I have, and just work hard, do more shows, and just start working on the next stuff. Just start working on. I'm probably gonna put out like a mixtape after this album, just something where I can just release some stuff after the album's out. Because I know when this album's done, I have a feeling I'll be able to work a little bit faster, just because this is gonna be such a relief and so much weight off my chest. So I would say probably mixtape after the album and more videos and just a bunch of shit.
I see. So it's once you get that first ball out, then it starts falling down for you. Speaking of the networking, where can people go to find out about you or your music?
My website is www.ficemusic.com, and that's pretty much like my blog. It has all the videos on there, music you can download for free. My store, I just put out a T-shirt and for the 1-year anniversary of 253 and all that stuff on there. And then Fice is the name on Twitter, and I think it's Fice Music on Facebook. Yeah, Fice Music on Facebook. That's my fan page, and that keeps you updated with like everything that's going on. But pretty much those 3 sites are the ones that you can either like discover my old stuff or keep up with what I'm about to do.
All right, thank you for your time, Fice.